Yeah, LA, we got a couple LA folks. Okay, cool. So, welcome. I'm super excited to be running another one of these challenges. I live for these. Our 15 minutes will start in just about a second. If you're watching the recording, again, when you watch the recording in Trainerize, once you finish the video, make sure you tap complete. A little dialogue bubble will come up where you rate the workout. You can leave me a comment. You can hit complete, and that'll log your participation. When you join live, you can just go to the challenge chat after the fact and just type in the chat, August 5th or whatever. And if you forget or something, just message me in Trainerize. You can do that when you log in. On the home screen, there is a photo of me in the lower right-hand corner. Tap it, and that'll pull up a dialogue. All right, so our 15 minutes starts now. This is a very chill session just to introduce you to a little bit of the basics of yoga, reintroduce or give you a little break from more intense physical activity. So we'll start in an easy seated position. That can be with your legs crossed. It can be however else feels comfortable for you. If your legs feel tight when you sit in a cross-legged seat, I suggest elevating your hips. In this challenge, I'm not going to demonstrate any equipment or props or anything like that because the whole thing we can complete with whatever we have in our house. But if you need to elevate your hips, you can definitely sit on a couch cushion, a bed pillow, a couple of bed pillows, something like that. So elevating your hips is always a good idea, particularly if you struggle with tight quads, so the muscles here, or like poor circulation. Sometimes that acts up for me. Okay, so find a tall spine, and I invite you here to close your eyes. Or if you do not want to close your eyes, just keep your eyelids heavy. And then you can kind of take a gaze down the bridge of your nose or just stare at a point that isn't moving so that you start to reduce some of the outside noise, outside information. Again, for anyone who's joining who's new, right? Yoga is a physical practice that helps us connect to our body, our spirit. We get more mobile, we get stronger, we can develop skills that help our agility, but by connecting our movement with breathing, we find a moving meditation. We find a little bit of calm. So breathing is a huge focus. So we'll start today by taking 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. So take a big inhale through the nose. And open the mouth, side out. 2 more like that. Take a big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, side out. Last one. Big inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. And then close your lips and just start to take some deep breathing in and out through the nose. So if you're stuffy, of course, you can breathe through the mouth. But yoga breathing typically happens through the nose only. And that is for 2 reasons. One, it helps us develop stronger lung capacity over time, which can help with cardiovascular, any other kind of physical movements. And 2, breathing in and out through the nose also forces us to concentrate a little bit, which can then help bring about calmness of the mind. So as you start to explore nasal breathing, maybe you can bring your hands to your body, or you can bring your hands together in front of your chest, or whatever kind of helps you feel grounded, and set an intention for our practice today and through the rest of this challenge. So an intention is something that you want to cultivate or feel, right? Or that you want to try or explore. So your intention might just be to make it to as many sessions as you can, to give yourself the gift of the movement and breath. And then when you're ready, if you would close the eyes, open them all the way. Take a big inhale, reach the hands up overhead. And then bring the right fingertips down outside the right hip. Leave the left arm up. Leave the left palm up, facing the right side of the mat. We'll take a little side bend to the right. So press the right fingertips into the ground. Glue your left glute down. Lengthen through the left arm a lot as though you're reaching for something, and then start to reach over to the right side of the mat. So you may not bend the right elbow at all, but keep the top arm active and think about spinning the left pinky down towards your face, which will intensify the stretch here for your triceps, your lats, and then push the left glute back down to the mat if it starts to lift up. And then come back up through center, bring the right hand back up. Let's take the other side. So bring the left fingertips down to the mat outside the left hip. Turn the right palm to face the left side of your mat here, and then reach the right arm for a big side stretch over to the left. So same thing happens here. Work the right glute down to the mat, keep the top arm active, spin right pinky down towards right ear, and then keep your chest and your hips open to the long side of the mat to keep this as a side stretch. Come back up through center, reach the hands up overhead. Let's take a seated spinal twist. So left hand comes outside the right knee. So right around to the right thigh, reach the right hand back. It'll look like this. So the chest starts to open here, work both glutes down to the mat. You can firmly press the left hand outside the right thigh as you inhale, lift up. And then exhale to explore the twist a little bit more. Open the left shoulder and the right shoulder more towards the right thigh. You can look back at the right hands if you like. So besides breathing through the nose, generally in yoga, when we stretch something forward or expand, we're breathing in, and when we twist or contract, we're breathing out. Come back through center, reach both arms up. Let's take the seated spinal twist to the other side. Bring right hand outside left knee, so to the left thigh. Reach the left arm back. It'll look like this. So the left palm is now open so that the shoulder, the chest is open. And on your inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Really nice, everyone. And then your exhale, you can press the right hand into the left thigh to bring the right shoulder, left shoulder open to the left side a little bit more. And then you can continue to explore how that feels as you inhale, maybe sit up taller, stretch the arm back, and then exhale as you explore the twist a little bit more. The exhale will feel like the natural breath because your core starts to contract. Okay, inhale, come back to center. Bring the hands up overhead and then shake them out. Let's come to hands and knees. Let's come to hands and knees. So to come to hands and knees, you'll cross over the shins. You just reach the hands forward. Or you might take one hand out to the side, one hand forward, and then carefully bring yourself to this tabletop position. So the hands are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. If you have sensitive knees, fold the mat, place a pillow under the knees, a blanket, anything like that. And we'll wake up the spine with cow and then cat. So for cow, we drop the middle of the rib cage down, take the tailbone up, and then isometrically pull the wrists, the heels of the hands back towards the knees so that your chest comes open between the shoulder blades. And then you can look up if you want, but if your neck is sensitive, just look forward. All right, so you have a big spinal extension here. The two ends of the spine are moving away from each other. And then find cat. So cat is the opposite direction curve. You press down into the hands, press into the shins, and then the tailbone curls under. Drop the head, the chin comes to the chest, and the shoulder blades come apart. So you have an upside down C shape, which is like the opposite of what we just did, and this is spinal flexion, the two ends of the spine moving towards each other. So let's take two more. Inhale, find cow. So again, the tailbone goes up, the middle of the rib cage drops, the chest comes forward between the shoulders, and then exhale, cat. Chin to chest, space between the shoulder blades, space on the low back. You can pull the navel up towards the spine, engage the core if you like. And then one more together, inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come back to a neutral spine, so no curve in the spine as we thread the needle to open the shoulders. So keep the left hand down under the left shoulder, and then inhale, reach the right hand up away from you. So it's a mini twist here. And in fact, you can take an extra breath to open the right shoulder over the left, so the chest opens out to the side. Now take the right hand, thread it under the left arm. The right palm is up, and the right forearm is sliding down towards the other side of the mat. From here, you drop the right ear towards the mat and just let the side of the neck traction. If you feel open, the outside of the right shoulder can come down to the mat. Slide the right ear away from the shoulder and bring your right ear down. Okay, but you can definitely hang out up here, and your body weight hanging will open the outside of the right shoulder. And you can drop the right ear, get some opening through the left side of the neck. Now, if you had your shoulder down and your ear down, press the left hand down again, lift the right ear away from the shoulder. Everyone plant into the left hand really firmly, and we'll rewind the whole thing. Press the left hand down, and you'll reach the right arm up, open the chest, and then take the right hand down. So we'll do this on the other side. Plant the right hand, inhale, peel the left hand up, open the chest. Then again, take another breath. Maybe you can open the right shoulder under the left a little bit more, and then thread the needle. So take the left hand, thread it under the right forearm. Okay, so the left palm is up. Left palm slides out to the right side of the mat. Turn the left ear down towards the mat. And then you can either hang here and let your body weight open the outside of the left shoulder, or maybe the left shoulder comes down. Slide the left ear away from the left shoulder and bring the left ear down. So it's the same stretch whether you're on the ground or here. And in fact, here can sometimes even be a little bit more intense because you're supporting your body weight with your right arm. If you were all the way down, press into the right hand, lift the left ear up off the mat. We'll rewind here. So press the right hand down, and then inhale, pick up the left hand, set the left hand down. Let's stretch our wrists. So my friends who practice with me a lot, we know this one. So from tabletop, first option is to take the fingertips out to either side, like so. Or you can send the fingertips back towards the knees if you feel really open, but don't worry about that. I'll demo here. All right, so fingertips are out till 3 and 9 o'clock. And then we'll just take some circles over the wrist. So shift the weight into the finger pads, into the fingertips, take the hips back. Same thing is happening if the fingertips are back towards the knees. We're all making circles here. Say towards the right, clockwise, whatever it is. Again, when I was teaching Pilates in studio a couple years ago, I had a lot of college students switch directions, and they were like 21 years old. And no one knew really what clockwise is. And I'm like, well, they haven't had to look at a clock like probably ever. So I gotta update my cues. Okay, bring the shoulders back over the wrist. We'll stretch the other side of the wrist. So this time, take the tops of the hands down, the palms and fingertips up towards your face. So it'll look like this, most likely with the fingertips in towards each other or back towards the knees. Bend the elbows, and then you can straighten the elbows to press the tops of the hands down into the mat. Or you can make a fist. So for my computer folks, like I would recommend doing this every single day to avoid, carpal tunnel and all that other stuff, especially this one, because this stretches your wrist extenders, the outsides of the forearms. You don't even have to be on your knees to do this. You can just kind of do this fist and the opening and closing of the hands, like against a wall or a soft surface, okay? Take the palms of the hands down. Bring the knees as wide as the mat here. So out. Bring the big toes to touch for child's pose. So you'll start to drop the hips to the heels. They may not touch, it's okay. You can keep them all the way up here. You can slide a pillow under your hips. and then walk the hands forward. The forehead can just stay down, okay? Or you can stack your fists and bring your forehead to fists. And you'll notice that you will likely feel opening on the front of the hips, so the hip flexors. If you have your forehead on your fists, lift the forehead. Everyone else lift the forehead. Walk the hands back under your shoulders, and then bring your knees back under your hips. So we meet in tabletop again, shake out the hips. We have one more posture here to finish out our 15 minutes. Bring the knees together, bring the shins together. Just drop the seat back towards the heels just for a second, and then shift your seat over to one side, just so we meet sitting down. Extend the legs in front of you. Bend the knees a lot. Okay, if you need to move your butt cheeks around, fine. I usually do, so we feel stable here. Bend the knees a lot, and then bring the knees in towards your chest so that the upper body is resting on the thighs like a shelf. Then you can grab opposite wrists underneath your hamstrings. You can grab opposite elbows if you're feeling very open. I'm gonna stay with my wrists today, okay? Keep the upper body connected to the thighs, and then just start to take baby steps forward with the heels. So the chest never moves from the thighs here. You're just gonna slide or walk your heels forward until you feel enough stretch through the hamstrings as you like. So it could be way up here, right? Or it could be, your legs could be lengthened. I'm certainly not gonna do that right now, but the upper body stays glued to the thighs in this variation, okay? And then just drop the chin to the chest. And keep pressing the chest into the thighs to let the lower back open as well. And over the next 5-ish breaths, maybe the heels go out a little bit further. This is a variation of seated forward fold, or Paschimottanasana, which is Sanskrit. Andrew's gonna laugh at me. Sanskrit is the historical South Asian language of yoga. And all our shapes generally will have a Sanskrit name to kind of link our stretching movement practice back with the culture that it came from originally. So let's come out of this together, and to exit, press the heels down into the mat, and we'll exit the same way we came in. So you can just start to walk the heels back towards the seat until you have a big bend and you're sitting up. Release the hands from behind your hamstrings, bring your hands down to the ground, and then just find an easy seat one more time. In Sanskrit, this is called Sukhasana. Literally means easy or sweet seat, because we are meant to set it up the way that's comfortable. Bring your hands to your thighs, close the eyes, come back to the intention you set just for this 15 minutes together. Again, just moving and breathing and taking a pause is like so important for all of you. I know all of you, what you're up to, you got to fill up your own cup. Let's return to the intention we set, and we'll seal today with one last breath together. Take a big inhale through the nose and open the mouth, sigh out. You can gently open your eyes. That is today's gentle stretch practice. Again, go in the group chat for the folks that joined live. Just write August 6th, and I'll log that you did it. There is a graphic in there if you want to check off one circle, maybe with the Japan flag, because Japan won this morning. Share it to social media, tag me on Instagram and TikTok is Halftime Yoga, on Twitter is @RLC. Any questions, message me in Trainer S. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording, and then if anyone has any questions, we can take over.